Do you remember Justin Fairfax? He's the lieutenant governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. A couple of years ago, back when the governor of Virginia, Governor Clan Robes Blackface, was trying to explain why he was dressing up like the Grand Kleagle during medical school, Justin Fairfax was accused by two separate women, credibly, of sexual assault. Not butt patting, but forced sex. Somehow he got away with it. He never resigned or even considered it, apparently. Now he's running for governor. So he was in a primary debate the other night in Virginia. And he had to address these allegations that he sexually assaulted two women. Go read about them, by the way. They weren't flighty. They were absolutely real. But he didn't address them at the debate. He didn't need to. Instead, he compared himself to George Floyd, and not just George Floyd, to Emmett Till, who was murdered in 1955. For real, watch this.
I was falsely accused in 2019 from the Washington Post now saying these false accusations, raising that question, and whether it was a rush to judgment. Everyone here on the stage called for my immediate resignation, including Terry McAuliffe 3 minutes after a press release came out. He treated me like George Floyd. He treated me like Emmett Till, no due process, immediately assumed my guilt.
Like Emmett Till. Okay, again, he didn't explain why these allegations weren't true. These are women who knew him. He admitted he knew them. They were absolutely real people, and they accused him essentially of rape. But he's Emmett Till, a kid from Chicago who was murdered in Mississippi? That's a Hall of Famer right there. Mark Steyn is a best-selling author. He watched, and he joins us to a set. So, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody go that far. I'm not just George Floyd, I'm Emmett Till.
Yeah. I mean, what I love is the brazenness of it. I mean, he's only in a pickle here because he's being accused by his fellow Democrats. If he was accused just by Republicans, the whole thing would go away because it's believe all women unless they're accusing a Democrat. But his other Democrats saw some opportunity here, and so they're accusing him of it. But if everybody's Emmett Till, nobody's Emmett Till. If everybody's George Floyd, nobody's George Floyd. So these comparisons are completely insulting and ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is, I don't even get how you play the race card in Virginia politics when this guy has spent the last however many years being the lieutenant to, as you said, a guy who dresses up either in blackface or a Grand Kleagle of the Ku Klux Klan. But again, racism doesn't matter if it's within the Democrat Party. So he hasn't been treated like George Floyd. He's not dead. He hasn't been treated like Emmett Till. He's not dead. He spent 4 years palling around with some guy who dresses up in Klan robes, not way back when in the 1920s, in the post-Great War revival of the Klan, promoted by the Democrat Party, but in the 1980s. We have now reached almost all the identity politics, at least as played by politicians, is inherently ridiculous because it is about powerful, corrupt people, as you always say about Meghan Markle posing as victims. And in this case, the pose ought to be laughed off the stage. But you'll notice it wasn't, Tucker.
What's so interesting, and by the way, I do discount some allegations against people. I know what it is to be falsely accused, but this was, as far as I remember, in one case, it was a black woman, by the way, accusing him of forced oral sex in very specific terms. How is it lynching when a black man is accused by a black woman of forced oral sex? A serious question.
Yeah, no, it is. That's what's. And the other allegation is even worse. It's a straight-up accusation, credible accusation of rape. So we've got someone here who treats women like trash, as Andrew Cuomo does, but he has the advantage because he can play his particular identity politics card. And as you say, it's absurd because the reason why this happened in Mississippi with poor Emmett Till, who was 14 years old, is because it was an accusation. It was which has long historical roots of the white man's fear that the black man is going to take his woman. In this case, it's African-American women, and the whole thing is total cultural appropriation for his own advantage.
So shameful. I agree. Mark Steyn, by the way, hosting the 7 p.m. hour all this week and doing an amazing time. In fact, I think I'm coming on with you tomorrow. Hope so. So thank you. Thanks for what you said.
You're too kind, as they say. Thanks a lot, Tucker.
It's true. I watched. You were excellent. Thanks.